Hey guys, welcome to the first volume of the History of Dota. We'll be looking back at older patches to see what kind of changes AM has gone through, but the first thing you need to know is that most heroes have multiple names they are called by. This could be by their game name, Anti-Mage, or their character's name, Magina. Now, that could be pronounced Magina, but I've always called him Magina. In addition to that, some heroes also have special alternative names that can be shown instead of their name. Magina is sometimes shown as Burning, who is a Chinese player known for playing Anti-Mage. Unfortunately, these fun names aren't part of Dota 2 and can only be found in Warcraft 3 Dota. Now, let's get on to the real exciting stuff and check out the history of Anti-Mage. First off, he had one too many mana burning spells. And yes, he actually did have mana burn and mana break at this time. Now, did he really need that much mana burn? Probably not. Mana break was very similar to what we have nowadays with that skill, other than the way it's scaled. Mana burn, however, isn't something AM currently has. I think most of us can agree that having two mana burning spells was a bit overkill. The cooldown was about 6 seconds, and it only cost 95 mana. And while that is a low amount, AM doesn't have a large mana pool naturally. So, with mana burn costing 95, blink 50, and mana void 175, it didn't leave much left in the tanks. Also, what would be the optimal skill build? Mana break and mana burn essentially did the same thing. You'd probably want to level up mana burn early for better lane control though. It would definitely help against any early aggression. Of course, you'd also need to level up blink because, well, who doesn't like to have the option to blink every 5 seconds? Wait, every 2 seconds? A 2-second cooldown at level 4? Is this a real version? This can't be right. I need to check my patch notes. Okay, hold on. History of Dota, here we go. Okay, patch 5.10. 2 seconds. Okay, it really is a 2-second cooldown. I have to see this. Come on! That is ridiculous! Unless you had a team full of stuns, it was probably really hard to lock down AM long enough to kill him. Granted, Blink was his only means of surviving, but really 2 seconds, just look at this! As long as you had the mana, you could just continue jumping in and out of the battle. Also, there were no hosting bots back then to reduce the Warcraft 3 delay time, so the enemy would also have very little time to react to your ridiculous 2-second blinks. And finally, Mana Void, which like Mana Break, was pretty much the same other than the way it scaled in damage. The only other difference was that Mana Void dealt single target damage, not splash. Well, just from 5.10, we can see that AM was pretty different. Now let's find out how he changed. In 5.31, Mana Void's damage was increased. Alright, not really a biggie, so next. Now we're talking. Blink cooldown increased. Oh yeah, okay, a 1 second more. Alright, well that's better than nothing, I guess. Now this is a patch. Blink cooldown increased again and was changed to what it is currently. But with that nerf, it did mean AM lost a lot of survivability. So with that, Mana Burn was removed and Spell Shield was added. Mana Void damage increased more and starting stats were nerfed a bit, which also meant even less in terms of surviving. So, let's check out just how much Spell Shield helped. This Spell Shield wasn't quite like the one we have currently. This one was a toggled ability. When active, it gave AIM magic resist at the cost of attack speed. At the lower levels, it was really rough, giving a whopping 30% more magic resist, while reducing attack speed by 50% at level 1. At level 4, it was 60% resist to 20% reduced attack speed. Now that's a better ratio, but still, you had to level it up. And even leveled up, that blow to your attack speed was brutal. What it meant though, was that you had to toggle it off when being offensive, and toggle it on when being defensive. And while that option to toggle was cool, it wasn't quite what AM needed to help him survive overall. 6.02 rescaled Spell Shield so that the reduced attack speed was a constant -20 at all levels. At least this gave you the option of only putting one level into it, just for the plus 30 resists. Patch 6.10 is the one that changed Spell Shield to be a little more like what we're used to, a passive. It also removed the negative attack speed, and the plus magic resist was rescaled. Now AM had the option of putting only 1 point into Spell Shield for that better protection. The next few patches brought small changes to Anti-Mage. 6.60 gave Mana Void the splash damage we're all used to now. 6.63 messed with how much strength AM started with, and how much he gained per level. And patch 6.65 gave AM some much needed buffs, like reducing the cooldown of Mana Void and rescaling Mana Break. But there's still a few more, like 6.70, where his Spell Shield was rescaled to what it is currently, and 6.80, which adjusted Mana Void's radius from 300 to 450. Also, we can't forget 6.81, which is live in Dota 2, but not in Dota 1. This patch gave Mana Void an additional 50 radius, making it an even 500. To sum it all up, AM did have some shortcomings earlier on in his Dota days, the main issue being 2 mana burning spells, and really no means of protecting himself other than Blink. It might have taken years and quite a few patches, but now we do have a hero who is viable both competitively and in pubs. And yes, I know, a 5-second blink is still really annoying to play against.
Blink Dagger. Oh, redundant blade.